Hey guys, this is Meet Your Real, your Justice analyst, and we are continuing with the Eurovision 2025 entries. And today it's time for one of the most unique Eurovision countries, and it's Portugal. Portugal, each and every year, is sending to us the songs in Portuguese language, so they're very proud of their language, of their culture, and that's what they're proving each and every year. Very often, unfortunately, it's not really understood, but sometimes it just hits. For example, in 2017, of course, Salvador Sobral even won Eurovision.
Talvez devagarinho possas voltar a aprender.
Or last year's Yolanda with Scream also managed to enter top 10. And this year, the Portuguese selection Festival de Canção was again full of some very interesting entries. I have now extra checked all of them before recording this video. I have understood that the big fan favorite was Josh with a very special performance. I still don't really understand how he's holding on this pole. And also Henka with a very aggressive rock entry, a little bit in direction of Hatari. My personal favorite from the lineup was Fernando Daniel. I think his song is very radio friendly, just a very nice catchy tune, and it definitely goes right into my playlist. And who were the winners? And this was a band called NAPA, which comes from kind of a distant island named Madeira. If you don't know, this is a kind of a standalone island in the Atlantic Ocean, not too far from the Canary Islands. You can kind of say between Canary Islands and Azores, but definitely closer to the Canary Islands. I have been there a couple of years ago, was definitely a great journey there. So if you haven't been to Madeira, I can only recommend, especially if you're into hiking and spending time outdoors. So the band was formed already back in 2013. But their very kind of professional steps started maybe in 2019 when they released their first album with the help of crowdfunding campaign where they have collected €3,500 to produce the album. And this is, for example, one of the songs from that album. The guys work in indie pop, indie rock styles, and actually till just 2 years ago they were known under a very different name. They were called Man on the Couch and now they're called NAPA. I don't really know if NAPA has any meaning. In any case, ChatGPT suggested me two possible meanings. One, it's a Portuguese slang word meaning kind of a big nose, and another meaning is a Portuguese or also Spanish type of a soft leather. I think big nose definitely fits better, it sounds kind of more fun. But now let's take a look at the lyrics of their song, which actually the guys have composed by themselves. Wow, so the lyrics titled in English Displaced kind of tell us about the story of people who leave, especially this particular island, Madeira, to maybe seek for a better future in, for example, cities. And the guys are singing, I will never belong to that city, the sea of people, the different sun, the pile of concrete, it doesn't provoke anything in me, it doesn't feel like. You will never understand the pain that silences me, the loneliness that haunts the moment of departure. They say I walk my path thinking of returning to my home, my island, my peace, Madeira, and I carry the peace of knowing I can return, mother, look out the window, I'm almost there. Well, I would say it hits quite deep because, you know, I'm coming from Belarus, I live in Germany. Definitely I have also from time to time craving to go to my home, to see my family, my friends, to breathe this kind of different type of air, to eat the food which maybe as a kid I never liked, but now when you don't have it, you're kind of craving it. So I definitely understand what they're singing about while craving for this home where maybe you can't even imagine living in anymore, but still you're craving for this place. There is just a special place in your heart which calls. So I think many young people can relate to this type of lyrics because nowadays so many people move from one country to another, from one city to another, and they have this home which they're missing and where they gladly return to. So the song hits very deep. I think it's a very real message, and probably, I don't know if the guys have actually moved from Madeira to maybe pursue the career in Lisbon or something like that, or maybe the song is dedicated to their friends who all one by one kind of left the island to seek for better career perspective or better future. If you know how personal it is to the band members, please let me know down below in the comments. I would be very, very interested to learn more about that. But now, without further talking, let's go for the first listen, where I will take a look at the MP3 track of the song, and then for the second listen I will definitely go into the live performance. So this time I'm blessed with the lyric video, so it's Deslocado by NAPA. Beautiful piano instrumental. It definitely gives this very Portuguese feeling from the very beginning. I like this kind of dreamy, indie-inspired feeling in this. It has a very beautiful build-up. I'm almost getting chills from this really beautiful melody. Doesn't it remind you a bit of the Italian entry actually for this year as well? His vocal is beautiful. I really love that transition to the head voice. So cool. Madeira? I have at least got this one. It's just such a vibe. It's really moving me. I love this. This backing vocals, gorgeous. Yeah, now showing us some low notes, showing his vocals, really stunning entry, I have to say. It just sounds so heartwarming, but also so nostalgic. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, and now it's over. Wow, I'm quite blown away. Well guys, if you remember my reaction to the Italian entry by Lucio Corsi, I was such a huge fan, and this one gives me very, very similar vibes, but I think this one even maybe has a bit more soul in it, because it has this very personal message, which I can also perfectly relate to. So I'm absolutely in love with this entry. The same as the Italian one, it definitely reminds me of the song Love Is On My Side, which was represented in Portugal a couple of years ago. But I think this entry is like taking this Love Is On My Side, removing the jazz vocals and just adding some soul, just infusing it with some Portuguese spirit and making it exceptionally heartwarming. So I have really liked it, and I just can't wait to see their live performance. So now it's live performance from the final Festival do Canção 2025, NAPA with Deslocado. Sounds absolutely excellent. Already from the first seconds, I can say his vocals are outstanding. He hits all the notes perfectly. He plays with his voice so nicely. This beautiful vibrato there. So yeah, super excited about the rest of the performance. It's just such a charming song. So heartwarming, so beautiful. Exactly my cup of tea. There is something so special, so unique about this one. I have said, well, we take this song Love Is On My Side and remove the jazzy vocals, but this guy is also definitely giving some jazzy vibes. Well, Portugal just did it again bringing something unique, something very authentic, but I'm sure it's again something what the general public will also appreciate. Wow, this was a very, very beautiful note. Yeah, they're so cool, they're having fun. You see that this song is very special to them, very authentic. It definitely gives the vibe of this kind of live band who's, writing songs by themselves, performing not to attract masses and to be #1 on any kind of radio station, but just to perform basically their vision of the music. And I think it comes through perfectly, and I can see a lot of people voting for Portugal this year. What a great live performance. Wow, what a special entry from Portugal this year. It definitely gives me this very warm feeling, this very cozy feeling. I just want to grab a blanket, cover me with it, take it like a mug of hot chocolate and just listen to the song. So I can't really understand the wave of hate they got. I definitely saw that the Eurovision fandom was not so happy about the Portuguese results. If I compare their performance with the ones which I have shown you in the beginning of the video, I would still have chosen this one over those. I think the guys will also do well in Eurovision. This type of songs, they always qualify to the Eurovision final. And I think in the Eurovision final, the televoters, they always appreciate Portuguese entries, and this one they will appreciate even more because I think it gives this kind of culture. Also the theme of relocation, which will be especially valid for the expats of Portugal who live abroad, because they will definitely feel connected to the song and they will definitely take their phones to vote for this entry. And the jury as well, just listen to their vocals. They were absolutely outstanding. I think this was one of the best live performances selected for the Eurovision 2025, which I have seen till this day. But now enough hyping of Portuguese entry, let's take a look how Portugal did in accordance with the televoting in the last 5 and in the last 15 years in the Eurovision semifinals. So as you can see on your screen, Portugal in general is doing well, and especially in the last 4 years. They are now on this kind of a hot streak, so it definitely puts them in the last 5 years on place 10 out of 31 countries taking part in the semifinals this year. And if we take a look at all the last 15 years, then they're on place 11. So in general, in both rankings, it screams that Portugal is a country which qualifies in accordance with the televote, and I just can't imagine this song will fail too. Now let's see where Portugal will perform in the semifinals in Basel. So as you can see on your screen, it will be the first semifinal and it's first half. So last year Yolanda was also in the first semifinal, but it definitely has helped her that she was towards the end of the show. This year in the first half we of course have some powerful entries, such as the ones from Sweden, Ukraine, Estonia, Poland. But Portugal is definitely given a very different vibe. I think Portugal might be playing a little bit on the same field with the Ukrainian guys. Also the Slovenian guy, based on this kind of low-key mood throughout the whole song, is also catching maybe the same type of audience. With the Ukrainian one, I'm not sure if they're really stealing points from each other, because I think more the Eastern Bloc will support Ukraine, more the Western Bloc will support Portugal, so they both will most probably qualify and have great results in the end of the show as well. And now let's see how the Eurovision fans are ranking Deslocado by NAPA. So as you can see on your screen in the Eurovision scoreboard at the time of the filming of this video, Portugal is ranked only 32nd out of 35 entries, still having a gap towards place 33, so still kinda quite far away from Croatia, Slovenia and Serbia, but also really far from the United Kingdom, Iceland, Azerbaijan, and basically 28 further entries. So not a great result, but I think taking into account the disappointment of the fans when Henka and Josh didn't win the selection, taking into account it's a male band, you also see that Ukraine is not that high in this rating. It's not really coming as a surprise, and I think towards Eurovision they will definitely rise. That entry by Black Mamba, Love Is On My Side, which I was mentioning before, was also somewhere in those places back then in 2021 when they were representing Portugal in Eurovision. So I think it basically means nothing, and at this point of time I really see Portugal somewhere around place 10, maybe like last year, maybe a few positions lower, but I would say definitely in the top 20. And now let's take a look if the bookmakers are sharing my opinion or not. And as you can see on your screen, Portugal is currently ranked 24th, which means that Portugal is below Switzerland, Germany, Ireland, Australia and some other countries, but then above Poland, Norway, Slovenia, Azerbaijan, Denmark, and also some more countries. So at least bookmakers agree with me that Portugal will be in the final. Of course, if Portugal in the final lineup will be set to perform somewhere in the beginning, then it means kind of losing the televoters' support, then the result might be definitely somewhat lower, maybe also outside top 20. But at this point of time, if we don't consider the running order at all, I definitely see this entry finishing somewhere towards place 15, maybe even climbing closer to the top 10. So in any case, it will be a good result for Portugal, and I think they did a very good choice with this entry. Well, talking about staging, I think this kind of live band visual which they were going for in their live performance in Festival de Canção, they will definitely keep for Eurovision. Also, this entry was now selected pretty late and they have to submit in the next couple of weeks already the final concepts for the Eurovision staging, so I don't think that they will change a lot. What they can definitely add are this kind of visuals which will make people feel nostalgic about the story they are telling. Maybe showing the pictures of this beautiful island of Madeira, or maybe just showing the stories of expats from all around Europe. You remember that performance of Manizha, Russian woman, where she asked the Russian women to submit videos of them performing her song and then combining it into one video to kind of showcase what the Russian woman may look like. I think these guys might do actually something similar for this topic of expats, of leaving your home country, where maybe they would ask people from all around Europe who moved to another countries to, for example, put on their national dress and pose with the background of some famous side of the country where they currently live in. I think something like this would be actually very, very touching and amazing, and I would at least be happy to see something like this. So that's what I think about the entry Deslocado, which will represent Portugal in the Eurovision 2025. It definitely touched me, moved me, and I just can't wait to see what kind of beautiful visuals they will bring to the Eurovision stage. Please let me know down below in the comments if you like the song, if maybe you think Portugal made a wrong choice not sending Henka or Josh to the Eurovision Song Contest. So definitely subscribe to my channel if you still haven't, like this video, and tune in for the next one. Bye bye!